Let's
All
go.
right, sports fans, welcome back to the channel. We got
Yes, sir.
another exclusive interview today.
Uh,
This one's pretty special. If you guys have been following us for a little bit, we were at UFC Kansas City just over a month
yes,
ago,
sir.
where our man Timmy Cuamba here, the Twilight, got it done over Roberto Romero with a very fabulous flying knee.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna obviously talk about that, but Timmy, I just want to start the interview by saying we really appreciate you taking time out of your day, especially living in Vegas.
But
I'm sure you're a very, very busy man. So we do really appreciate you taking time out of your weekend to come on here and talk to the people, man. This is awesome. So,
of course, man. Thank you for having me on. Like I said, it's a big honor. Thank you for hitting me up and everything. I'm glad that I'm on here.
yeah, Timmy, I
So,
just shot him a DM literally a few days ago, and we
uh,
we got this put together within a few days. So really,
exactly.
really cool dude to work with. Um, Not all UFC fighters are these like big scary guys. Dudes like Timmy, he's a scary dude inside the cage, but really chill dude outside the cage. So that just kind of
So,
speaks volumes of that. But Timmy,
yes, sir.
I did want to start with us obviously being at UFC Kansas City. We got the shirt on
Oh, hell yeah.
to represent and the hat,
Yes, sir.
obviously. What does it mean for you to start off 2025 with a W, to get in the
I
W?
mean, it's an amazing feeling starting the year strong with a great finish, getting that momentum going in this year. I'm excited to keep this going throughout 2025 and keep this one-way traffic on the way.
For sure. And we're definitely
Yes,
going to talk later on about, what you kind of see in the rear future for 2025, maybe even some possible fights. I know whenever you spoke at UFC Kansas City, you didn't have a specific card,
yeah, yeah.
say with the event just ending or an opponent. So we're going to talk into that later. But just to kind of stay on the topic of Kansas City, how was it being there? Just the lead up to the whole week of the fight. And what did you think of Kansas City as a whole? I'm not personally from there, but it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
a great fight night. You kind of started off the fight night. So
yeah,
there was a lot of finishes that night, very competitive if you wanted to win some money.
yeah.
So what was your thoughts on it the whole week?
Man, the whole event was amazing, but like the lead up, I would say the crowd was so electric in there. Like you could feel everybody's energy when you were fighting, and then after I won, I got the celebration. Like you could feel the energy, and like I said, like Kansas City is different. I love fighting for them. I hope to keep fighting for them in the near future.
That's awesome. And
Yeah,
especially with somebody not being from there, that's huge
yeah, it was
to hear
awesome.
that from Kansas City. Like, I feel like, and I don't know for you or not yet.
Yeah,
I know you've only had three fights inside the UFC so far. You're still young. You're 26 years old, but
yes, sir.
it's almost better. I feel like, obviously I'm not stepping in there like you are, but
Yeah.
these fight night cards, the fans get there earlier. I mean, they're there from the first fight of the night all the way up
Oh
to the
yeah,
main event. If there is a fight on a big pay-per-view, I feel like the crowd doesn't show up as early for maybe the prelims, but like even your
yeah.
fight in UFC Kansas City,
It was
most of the
packed.
seats were already packed.
Yeah, it was
Good
insane.
crowd. It was
Because
a
I feel like
huge
with the
crowd.
pay-per-views, everybody gets there for like that huge fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't like that,
Yeah,
I don't like that they do that.
yeah.
So what was
No, yeah.
what's kind of your thoughts on that? Like, would you rather fight on a fight night card maybe if
Uh,
you are maybe on the prelims so you have a bigger crowd in there and maybe it's better exposure almost?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but like at the end of the day, like I'm just willing to fight anywhere. But like I said, it's nice to have the actual crowd there. I will say it does play a great factor, and I just love feeling the energy as I'm walking to the cage when I'm fighting in between rounds. You could just feel everything, and after you win, you feel it even more. So it's honestly undeniable. Like you gotta love
That's awesome. That is
it.
awesome. So I love to hear that. I was just kind of curious to hear your thoughts on kind of the whole crowd
Yeah.
situation with fight night versus pay-per-view. I've always
Uh,
thought that's kind of like a speculation thing amongst the crowd. But to stay on it still, what made you throw that flying knee in the second round? Obviously,
mm,
a reporter put it out there in your post-fight press conference at UFC Kansas City that all three judges did score the first round in his favor.
yeah.
That's obviously very debatable. If you were at the fight and you had that TV on, very, very debatable there. So, with you being down 1-0 in the first round, I know that you said that the game plan was to kind of keep the foot on the gas. Like, we're going to progress as the fight goes on. We're
Yeah.
going to stay calm and we're going to pick our shots. So, what made you throw that flying knee? And I did believe that your corner and yourself, you might have picked that up on between rounds, that an uppercut or a tip or a flying knee was going to be
Yeah, yeah.
in the second round because he kept ducking his head. So
Yeah,
what
exactly.
kind of see in there the first 5 minutes?
I mean, like as far as the first round, like what you said, going into the fight, the first round, it was more about taking my time, getting my timing, because I knew with him he was gonna show all his cards early. So
Hmm.
that's why that second round I came out and I put the gas on the pedal because I had his timing and I was landing at will. And when it came to the knee, we noticed leading up to the fight, my coaches, One Kick Nick and Dewey Cooper, they noticed that he ducks his head a lot, he dips a lot, kind of like a traditional boxer. So we knew a knee up the middle or a head kick was going to be there. So in between rounds, my corner yelled knee, and that's exactly when I did it. And he ducked right into it.
That's so awesome. I mean, that's awesome. That's the type of guys you want in your
Yes,
corner too, that are able to not only watch film leading up to a fight and put together a game plan and see
yeah.
sequences like that, but to have guys that can adjust on the fly during the
Oh
fight.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's huge for UFC fighters. I know you could probably speak on that better than me, obviously, but what
Yeah.
does it kind of mean to have guys by your side that, can also adapt on the fly while you're in the octagon?
Oh, it's amazing. Like having One Kick Nick in my corner, that was honestly, it was absolutely amazing. I can't even explain it. Like going through that training camp with him, it was progression, progression, progression. Everything I was working on, it was really about improvement, improvement, improvement. Like it was undeniably an amazing camp, and I cannot wait for our growth in the future. And then having Dewey Cooper, I've had Dewey Cooper in my corner for years, working my strict boxing and my sharp punches, everything like that, placing everything. Having that mixture between them two, One Kick Nick and Dewey Cooper, honestly, it's unbeatable. And
Awesome.
I'm excited for the future because, like I said, I'm only 26. I'm getting better. I'm not even close to my prime yet. So, like the progression the three of us can make on my striking and everything, it's gonna be undeniably amazing.
That's awesome. Well, I'd love to hear that. And just the final question I have for UFC Kansas
Yeah.
City before we kind of look down the road. Um, did Dana compensate you well still for UFC Kansas City? Because not only,
Oh,
in my opinion, and you can go back and look at the
yeah.
video on this, I probably had the craziest reaction to your flying knee knockout. If you go
Oh,
watch
that's
that
awesome.
video. So on top of Wellmaker and Ming Yang
Uh,
getting the 50K performance of the night bonus, I think you also should have been given a lot of
yeah.
money for that finish you had
Yeah.
on him. So were you still well compensated for that at all?
No, I got my normal pay. I thought I was gonna get the bonus. I was really excited, but then I saw Wellmaker get that knockout, and I was like, okay, he's definitely gonna get one. So I was like, okay, that's one already. And then and the next thing you know, there was like six other finishes, so that I knew it was gonna be super competitive to get that bonus. I
That was
was really hoping I would,
here to get a
but
to
I like the way I look at it. It's the first of many big finishes I'm gonna have in my career, so I'm gonna have plenty of opportunities to win that 50K bonus. I still
that
have a long road ahead of me.
that's a great mentality to have on that.
Yeah,
But I was just curious because if you looked in the comment section after the fight, a lot of people were
yeah,
like, dude, Timmy's knockout, like, what are we doing? Like that's
yeah.
gotta be something too. Like even
Uh,
guys were, getting on
uh,
Instagram, flooding the comments. I even
yeah,
did something too. I was like, damn,
yeah,
come on, man. Like that's crazy. But I'm glad you have a great attitude and a great mentality
yeah.
about that. And I have no doubt in the future that we're gonna see some more badass KOs and TKOs from
Oh,
you.
yeah. They're
Yeah,
gonna get better and better. I promise you.
hell yeah, hell
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So speaking on, we've kind of been touching on it so far.
Uh,
So what can we expect from you the rest of
uh,
2025? Is there a certain card that you want to be on? Personally, for me, I live 2 hours from Nashville. I would love
uh,
to see you on the UFC Nashville Fight Night card. That card needs some more spice to it. Stephen Thompson was just added to
yeah,
that this morning. I still
uh,
think that card needs a little bit more guys like Timmy Cuamba that's going to come in there and potentially put somebody out like you put him out at
oh,
UFC
yeah.
Kansas City. So, what can we see from you the rest of 2025? And do you have a specific opponent in mind for us at the moment?
I mean, I was hoping for August or September, like around there, around that date. So I was hoping for one of like a big card on either one of those months. Honestly, July would be like obviously July wouldn't be bad, but I wanted to kind of take my time and fight August or September so I could really keep building.
That's
So
awesome.
fight every 4 months. I want to stay active. That's the big thing. So I just fought end of April, nearly almost May. Some August or September would be perfect.
That's what I like to hear. I'm also
Yeah.
5 hours from Chicago, so I'm definitely going to be at that
Hey,
pay.
that's
Well,
that's a good one too. Yeah.
holy shit, the eyes on that
Yeah.
event. I mean, if
Oh
you
yeah.
if you get on any
Uh
of the UFC's platforms, I feel
uh
like a lot of Americans have been saying, "Come back to Chicago, come back to Chicago, come back to Atlanta,
yeah.
where we're going to be in 2 weeks." Those have been the two cities that, in the U.S. at least, have gotten the most buzz about. So that
Uh
UFC Chicago pay per view, dude, I would fucking love for you to have the opportunity to get on that card. That would be sick.
that that would not be a bad idea either. That would be amazing. That would be a great opportunity.
Dude, that I would absolutely love that for you.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody in mind you'd like to fight, or is it just kind of like a, hey, I'm gonna take the big light moment. We're just
Yeah.
done regardless who's across from me.
The end of the day, the way I look at it in this game, especially with me as myself, it's honestly me versus me. So honestly, I don't care who they give me. I don't. It does that don't matter to me. They send me a name, I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna win. That's all. That's all that matters. It's me versus myself out there. So at the end of the day, like they're gonna offer me names, whatever my management and my coaches think is smart, we're gonna go with it, and then that's it.
Yeah, and I
I'm just the fighter. I train and fight. That's it.
what'd you say? I'm sorry.
I'm just the fighter. I just train and fight. That's it.
Yes, sir.
That's why I always talk to my team, when they send opponents, like I don't have like certain guys in mind. I feel like when you're in the rankings, I feel like that's kind of like you have to have names in mind because you got to go for the guys that are ahead of you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right now, my position, I'm still building, so I just want to fight.
That's awesome. And UFC love guys like you that say, hey, I
Yeah,
want to fight every 4 months. I want to be active. I don't really give
yeah,
a shit who's across the octagon from me. I'm going to show up
mhm,
and fight. So I think
exactly.
when you get that opportunity, I'm absolutely going to post that little clip, and we're gonna get you on UFC Chicago and try to get that ball rolling because I'd fucking love
Oh
that.
yeah,
I'd fucking
that'd
love.
be awesome. Yeah,
Hell yeah. So
that'd be great.
just to kind of give you another question that's not really typically asked by like a reporter or something like that. I'm sure you're kind of
Uh,
tired of hearing the same shit over and over. How's camp? What'd you think of this fight? Who do you got next? So we've kind of already covered those questions. What's something about being a UFC fighter that fans don't normally see? And especially with you, like what would something be cool to a fan to hear that you do outside of the octagon and training?
like what, like hobby I do?
Yeah, just hobbies in general. Yeah.
Honestly, bro, I live a very boring life. All I do is train, train, train. It's very hard to like have side hobbies. Like all I like, for example, I just got done with strength and conditioning just now. Like I'm always just on the move, whether I'm recovering, I'm training, or I'm at home resting. Like I'm always just my goal is to be world champion one day. So it's kind of hard for me to like have other hobbies. So it's a very tough battle for sure.
But that's how you have to be. That's how you get
Yeah,
to the top, though. Like you're locked in. Obviously, that's the
yeah,
definition.
yeah.
I think of what just came out of your mouth of being locked
Yeah.
in. So if you don't live a lifestyle like that, there is a few different distractions. You might not make it to the top. I know a great example of that right now. With him fighting next week. I hate to bring up another fighter while we're talking, but Sean
Mhm.
O'Malley obviously had a rough outing against Marab last
Yeah,
time. He's had to change his lifestyle to exactly what you just said. Basically, he's had to cut out a lot of distractions and he thinks that's going to be better for himself. And I think that's kind of the lifestyle you have to live to be at the top
yeah.
today. So it'll pay off. Um, I love that answer from you actually.
Yes,
So
sir. Yeah.
that's sick, bro. That is sick. Um, what is your okay? So like you're an American, obviously. You see this stuff. We asked Cody Durden the same question on this channel
Uh-huh.
a few days ago. There's 100 men versus a gorilla. Who would win? And if you had to pick four other UFC fighters to go in your wave with you to fight this gorilla, what four UFC fighters would you take?
Pick four UFC fighters to fight a gorilla.
You're in this wave of
Okay.
guys. You're in a group of five.
Okay, group of five. Okay.
So it's you
I
and
would say I would say John Jones.
okay.
Um, that was a tough one. Alex Pereira.
Love that.
That's a good one
Like
too.
that's a good start. That's a good start.
Who's another one? Um, I'll go with Islam,
Okay.
and then let me think. Shit, this is actually a tough one.
I know there's so many
This
guys,
is hard.
so many different dudes bring different stuff to the table. Obviously.
Yeah, this is tough. Need a heavyweight. Let me see, like another heavyweight.
Yeah.
I'll go with fucking Brock Lesnar or something. Who knows?
Love that. Love
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
squad right there. We got Timmy, Alex Pereira, John Jones, Brock Lesnar, and Islam. That's
Yeah,
a squad. Yeah, you guys are
yeah,
you're taking a dub right there. I
yes,
don't think we
sir.
need to look any further. If you guys are the first five, it gets done right there.
Yes,
But
sir.
just kind of to talk about the hobby thing, because
Uh,
I'm actually about to go do this. I am about to go golf after we get off this interview. I saw you at
uh,
golf the other night, and then I think I saw you putt putting. So is golf maybe a little bit of a hobby whenever you do have the little free time you do that you do enjoy that sport? It was
yeah, it was just more me and my girlfriend being competitive. Like I thought I was a better golfer than I actually was. So it was like it was a lot of trash talk, and I was like, you know what, let's go tonight. I got whooped in top golf. You know, you have to hit it for the distance. I don't know how I lost that. And then I lost in mini golf too, so I was just like, damn, maybe golfing's not my thing.
oh
I
okay.
gotta, yeah. I was just more like it was more like a competition. I was like, okay, I'm gonna find a way to win that, and I ended up losing both. So I was like, it's all right.
Oh, that's hey, that's fun
Yeah,
stuff though, man. That's good dating.
yeah,
Me and my girlfriend the exact
yeah,
same way. We're competitive as shit. So that's cool to
yeah.
see. We got that little similarity there. But
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Timmy, the last thing I want to ask you before you get off here, man,
Uh,
what's the last message you want to give to the fans? Just to tune in the rest of 2025.
mhm.
What's your last message you got for the future coming up?
I'll just say, like I had a big finish back in April. It's the first of many big finishes. I'm not going to be stopped. I'm going to keep getting better. Like I said, I'm 26 years old, still improving, still hungry, still motivated. Like I'm ready to get what's mine, and that's become world champion one day. So watch me climb the ladder and watch me climb the ranks, and I will be there 100%.
Absolutely, and I've got full
So
confidence in you they could do that, man. Like you said earlier in the interview, you're not even in your prime yet. Far from
exactly,
your
yeah.
prime, to be honest with you. Another four or
Uh,
5 years, you're probably going to be in your prime, but there's a
uh,
lot of time now in between there
uh,
to climb the ranks, fight some bigger name guys, and get some
uh,
badass finishes like what you just had in Kansas City. But
yes, sir.
Emmy, we really appreciate you joining in today. We hope we can have you back on the channel in the future, maybe
Oh
after
yes,
a fight booked or maybe after that fight does happen. We'd
let's
love to
do
get
it.
you back on, man. Really
Oh
well
yeah,
talking guy, really chill ass dude.
oh yeah.
We can't wait to see what you're going to do the rest of this year and going forward, man. So it was a really, really good honor to have you on here, man. We really appreciate
Yes, sir.
you.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate all of you.
Yes,
This was
sir.
awesome.
Twilight, Timmy, Cuamba, everybody. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.